All right. Today's episode is brought to you by Jaemor Farms Day, special episode. We don't have a phone number, but we got
a face. No phone
Got
number.
a face.
It's also brought to you by Walker Mountain Storage. Call 706-295-3733. Garages are for parking your cars. Get your shit out of your garage. Put it in the storage unit. Also brought to you by A-Trax Deer Feed, the best deer feed there is. And, Cade, what are your other sponsors you got?
Southeastern Payment Solutions. Shout out to SCPS. That's our other sponsor for today. And then Clint Tucker at Sugar Hill Outdoors. They helped us out too. So we'll throw a little logo on there for you.
Yep. Appreciate it for them. All right. Today's guest, he's from Hall County. He's a lifelong farmer turned politician.
Don't hate me. Don't hate me.
We don't hate you, man.
Hall County legend.
We're about to hate you in the next 50 minutes. If it goes south. He is an enemy of the establishment in the political world. And also very thankful for him because he let me go bird hunting out of his farm. So appreciate it for him. Today's guest is Mr. Drew Echols. So
It's good to be here.
Yeah.
It's good to be here. I'm excited. This will be a good time. It'll be a very good time.
yeah.
What we're going to do, just tell stories? What we're going to do? All right, let's do it. Let's roll with it.
We'll ask all kinds of questions
Yeah,
and stuff.
we'll write everything down and take notes. So what's your life story? That's the number.
Start from like age, I guess start wherever you want to, but start wherever you
Growing up on a farm like Jaemor's got to be pretty interesting.
So you grew up on, it was already started and you grew up on the,
So I'm fifth generation to own and operate the farm. I'm partners with my dad and uncle right now. We're equal owners. Growing up there was quite the experience. From playing war in the woods with BB guns with no goggles on to
my cousin still got a BB in his elbow from the same thing, playing Cowboys and Indians with Red Rider.
That's
in his elbow.
that's what's wrong with the country today, man.
Yeah.
Nobody played BB war, you know. Everybody's soft.
Mm-hmm.
To shooting a deer and call my dad and like, hey, I just killed a deer. He's like, no, you didn't. Yeah, I did. Well, you weren't supposed to go by yourself, you know? So anyway, all those things, you know?
Yeah.
The biggest thing, just working hard and learning how to work right there on the farm.
So
I think
you would say that's where you kind of attribute your work ethic and stuff too, is growing up, just not really having a choice.
Absolutely. And Jaemor was small then and, some tough times with tough crops and things like that. And it's morphed now into agritourism and production agriculture. We have wholesale accounts, do a little bit of everything. We got a bakery. I brought y'all some, fried pies. I know college kids never turn down, free food.
We don't eat much, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I think there's about 7,000 or 8,000 calories in that little box right there.
We
So
want them, yeah.
you can go for a week on that.
Yeah. Whenever I rode out there, that was my first time actually to Jaemor Farms. And actually, I recognized your daughter Chloe from the commercial as a kid.
She's,
She was up there on the screen. I remember like on the 11 Alive News, it'd pop up. I'm like, wow.
I used to make her do radio commercials when she was like 5, right when she first learned how to read, man. I don't care to exploit my kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it pays the bills, let's go. You know what I'm saying?
Get in here and read this article.
Yeah.
Go sell some peaches for me at a little local farmer's market, rub a little dirt on her face.
There you go.
Make them.
That's all you got to do.
That's right. That's right. Play the part.
Yeah. Did you play any sports or?
Played football in high school, a little bit of baseball, not much. Went to East Hall High School. I came down to the University of Georgia. Man, they said I was too smart to be here. I mean, I was here for like 8 weeks and I quit. I went back.
Good for you.
I worked for Georgia Power for a couple of years. I got married way too young. I got married when I was 21. Still married now. So
What's the secret to that?
I don't know, man. There's a lot of people betting against us. I should go collect on that, but we had some good times. I think we got married young and just to be honest, I mean, we were poor and this is hilarious. Y'all have to oblige me here. So all my buddies, they were all single and, when they were 22, 23, 24 years old, some of them, a couple years older than me, they started getting married. I bought this limo so we could drive it to bachelor parties. 1994 model Cadillac Brougham. It was longer than our trailer. our double wide trailer that we lived in on a dirt road. And I promise nobody really believes this, but this went over real well on the campaign trail. We had a coon dog tied to a tree named Banjo. So it's almost like a country song with a limo in the yard and a double wide trailer and a coon dog. So, it all worked out. We used to do all kind of coon hunting. That was any marital advice I could give is like, she don't mind deer hunting. She don't mind dove hunting, any kind of bird hunting. She's all good with that. If you're going to get married, don't coon hunt. Just don't coon hunt. If you're going to get married, just
no kind of hunting during the night.
That's right. Just don't go coon hunt.
Yeah.
Luckily, I haven't got that addiction yet. I did that a little bit growing up, but yeah, it never really was for me. I'm a huge advocate for sleep. I love it. I gotta have sleep. I gotta have sleep.
I haven't been coon hunting. I just been squirrel hunting, but I like taking girls deer hunting so that they can't talk, and it's like
yes, awesome.
That's what I like.
Yeah, no opinion on that.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, one time I went squirrel hunting, and it was over in Everett Springs, and I was with JC Burkett. You know him?
Yeah, he just called me.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, call you back in a minute here, JC.
Yeah, well, we went with God, what was his name? Anyway, this guy who had a Jack Russell, and apparently it was a squirrel dog.
Yeah,
that's what he was
allegedly
on cocaine, man.
Yeah,
that's what they're like.
Barry Nix.
Yeah, oh yeah,
yeah. Barry Nix had a squirrel dog.
Yeah,
and we didn't know his name, and so we go out there and we turn him loose, and we're like, "Do we know his name?" And JC goes, "I think his name is Peanut." And then the other guy was with Ethan Evans. He goes, "Well, he's got a set of peanuts on."
Peanut.
So we went hunting, and that dog treed up every tree that didn't have a squirrel in it and just ran around.
Wasn't that squirrel dog? That's just a damn llama.
My dad said we should have turned his nuts to squirrel.
There you go. Yeah, y'all had him on run mode.
I'd like to go coon hunting. No, I just hadn't.
What about those? You ever seen those people squirrel hunting with those falcons? That's so cool, man. I've seen it. I've seen it. Yeah, it's so awesome, man.
But
they just like
how do you? There's like a way to catch the bird. Yeah, so I think you have to like set a trap for them. From what I've read about it, you have to like set a trap for them. Then the bird comes in there, and you have to like cover the bird up like with complete dark, like throw a blanket over it for the first 2 or 3 days, like complete darkness. And then you have to come in there on the third day and feed it, and then like start taking the blanket off its head and feed it, take its head. That's what I've heard.
Are you looking at?
Or you could just buy one.
Yeah, but if you buy one, how you know it's going to like you and not fly off?
This is true. This is true.
They do it.
But either way, if you buy one, somebody had to catch it at some point or breed it or something.
Man, those squirrels don't even know what hit them. Like, it's like that.
That'd be a nightmare, just hanging out on a limb, you and your girl, and a freaking pterodactyl comes swooping down on you and just snatch your ass off a limb.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think it'd be cool for you're on a date or something and your falcon just landed on your shoulder with a squirrel in its mouth. You're like, I got his dinner.
Yeah. That would be pretty tough.
All right. Well, so obviously you're an outdoorsman. When did you start running for office? Was this a recent thing?
Explain what you're running for and how you got
you're running right now, aren't you?
Well, actually, I'm on the ballot, and I won my primary back in May, and so I'm unopposed this fall. There's no Democrat running against me this fall, so here we go.
Yeah. You can't lose now,
man. If I lose, I'm not going to hold this until after November, and after election day. If I get beat, something terrible wrong. Yeah, exactly. So just always been involved in politics. My wife's been involved some, and our son, he has Cohen. You mentioned Chloe. Cohen is he's awesome. Like, he is diehard Georgia Bulldogs. He's diehard Dan Jackson that we talked about a while ago.
Yeah. Hall County legend.
Hall County legend. That's right. So Cohen's 16. He goes to North Hall High School. He has Down syndrome. He's high functioning. He's like larger than life since he's been.
He was out there hunting the other day.
Yeah. Ever since he was in kindergarten, every single year he wins the award for life of the party.
He's strictly there to have fun.
That's it. That's it. Like, we won't let Chloe bring him down here to Athens because I'm just afraid. I'm scared. Yeah, I'm very scared. But he's a good kid. He again, diehard Dan Jackson, diehard dogs guy. He's a big. He likes to hunt. He likes the social aspect of it more
He
than
just
me.
likes to talk.
Yeah,
I think everybody does.
That's right.
Everybody deep down really does. You know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Cohen is he's that guy, and his mom's getting out of it, and I'm going in there, and there's just a lot of things. I mean, this country, and we don't want the state of Georgia to be polarized like the rest of the country is, and there's a little bit of that going on, and I mean, we just got to have folks that are just common sense folks.
Yeah.
That business owners.
Common sense isn't extremely common anymore.
That's exactly right. I mean, where's it at? But business owners that have signed a paycheck, that know what it's like to deal with inflation and regulation and all the things.
I know what kind of impacts that the government has on business, and
it's horrible, man.
Yeah.
It's sometimes as a small business owner, and I know y'all know plenty of business owners, but sometimes you feel like that they don't want you to.
No, it's
exist.
not. It's not. It's set up to not win. Almost is how it feels sometimes with all the different loopholes and stuff you have to jump through.
That's right. And we were talking about construction. You've been in the construction industry before we got started, and in the ag industry, a lot of those issues are federal issues. And I'm going in the state senate here in Atlanta. But agriculture is the largest industry in the state of Georgia. Like 83.
How many states is that true for?
I don't know. To be honest with you, that is.
Can't be. I mean, it can't be most of them, right? Yeah. I mean, but I would bet you'd be surprised.
It's probably half of them.
Think so?
Probably half of them. It could be more than half. Cause I mean, even you start thinking about California. I mean, I know that,
they're a big ag state.
It's big ag. I don't know. That's a good question.
Could be. I guess it would really depend on what do they look at for that revenue.
Well, it's
or just like import export.
Farm gate income is, and so in Georgia, it's $83 billion is related to 1 in 7 jobs, so you just about everything we do at some point touches agriculture.
Yeah, which
kind of full circle. Damn good dog outdoors. We got to take care of the environment.
That's right.
Not just for the hunting aspect of it, but we got to feed ourselves.
Yeah.
That's the important stuff right there. I saw, Tate Ratledge is, he's the big, spokesperson for the Georgia Fruit and Vegetable Growers Association this fall. So I don't know how many,
I'm pretty sure he's against eating fruits and vegetables.
I'm pretty sure he is too. That's what I was about to say, man. I don't know how many tomatoes.
He's allergic to salad. I'm almost positive.
Human onions too. He's doing. I think.
Yeah.
Schumann was a lad was with them fellas down there.
That's right.
And I think one of the boys might go to school here, Luke. We've done some stuff with Jaemor Farms. I think
Luke Schumann?
Yeah, I think he goes here or went here or something like that. So
ag's a big deal in the state of Georgia. So, and they took it on the chin. I don't know if y'all have mentioned this, but $6.4 billion hit to agriculture
from the storm.
Yeah.
Is that the worst we've seen?
Yeah.
And what'd you say
worse than Michael? Yeah.
What'd you say the total was coming out here?
$83 billion a year.
So then what do you do? Do you scramble to try to get some sort of something passed, or can the governor do that?
I think, the governor's helping out right now, doing all he can. Again, a lot of that's going to pass down from the federal level with disaster stuff. Congress does that. Okay. So there'll be some stuff happening in the state of Georgia.
In session.
Right. They're exactly.
Yeah. Wow.
Dysfunction. What are we talking about? You just do your job. Right. You know what I'm saying?
I worked in the government this summer.
That's right. Yeah. So, but there's some stuff that's already pre-set aside for such disasters as this, and hopefully that gets ironed out.
There's something set aside for $6 billion in loss, though.
There'll be some. Yeah. There'll be some of it, but there's so few farmers in the state of Georgia that will ever be made whole from this. The timber industry in particular.
Just the Daniels over here in Smithonia. They got I think they're split down the middle like corn and soybeans, but, like the storm didn't even get up here, but hell, they had two trees fall on a house, on a truck.
Right.
It's like just stuff like, how many people did something like that happen to where it might not even affected their crop, but like it totaled homeboys' 7'3", like he can't get around the farm no more. He can't,
Right.
You know, so that's a problem that's got to be fixed. So, and I think that's probably, does
How
that
do you
even
measure that?
Yeah. That doesn't even go
That's
into
that's not counted into the 6.4 billion.
Right.
I took a crew last Tuesday to Waynesboro, Georgia.
Yeah, we turkey hunt down there.
Okay,
Yeah,
so I got some really good friends that farm down there, and took me and 7 guys, and we cut trees for people that couldn't afford tree
service.
You know, I mean, we weren't rebuilding houses or roofs or anything like that.
Shit
We were
out of the way so everybody get back on normal.
That's right. So, and it was a disaster. And those folks were just.
Did you go up to North Carolina?
I hadn't been up
seen
there.
it there. Yeah,
I've seen a lot of stuff.
So my brother's he has his own flight school up in northwest Georgia. It's called Ace Aviation. Shout out if you're looking to learn how to fly, hit up Ace Aviation. But he was like, I think he's still doing it for the past however many. It's been about 2 weeks now. He's just been going back and forth, taking people back and forth up there, and he's only taking people from here up there to help. And they got like their own little Air Force going on up there, and they can't get any support from any kind of government.
The government?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's messed up.
They're very ill prepared. Like I said, I got a lot of friends down there in Waynesboro, hunted down there a lot. It's just a cool little town, man.
Oh, yeah.
Great people.
Waynesboro, Swainsboro.
Bird dog capital of the world.
That's right. Yeah. You got on.
We actually hunt, I guess Swainsboro is right outside of Waynesboro,
Yeah.
but we do some turkey hunting down there with, there's a group called Sweetwater that they make turkey calls and that kind of thing.
Okay.
And we hunt down there. They're good people. You ever ate at the, Fisheye Grill?
I know the guy that owns it, man.
Yeah, me too. That guy's a character, but the food
He's a loon, man.
yeah, the food is like, they were telling me like, dude, this restaurant will pack out. Like, we won't be able to get a seat here and play.
Ryan.
I'm like, yeah, Ryan.
Ryan, what's his last name?
I don't know.
I was at a party with him like a long time ago, and it was awesome.
Yeah.
It was great.
I can see so. Every time I see him, he's got something up his sleeve. But
You know why they call it the Fish Eye Grill, right?
well, he's missing his eye, right?
Yeah, exactly,
so-
because his eye.
yeah, he got a fake eye. So they're telling me
He's
like,
a cool dude, great
coolest
guy.
guy ever. Yeah.
Yeah.
And like every time we go in there, he'll bring you an extra steak and he just does it right. Yeah, he does it right. And they were telling me like, because I mean, it almost looks like a metal build, like, and they're like, this place will be so packed we won't be able to get a seat.
This is in Waynesboro?
Swainsboro. It's even smaller town off of Waynesboro.
His brother-in-law, his brother-in-law is one of my really good friends. That's whose land I hunt on.
Oh, okay. So we're probably close to each other.
Oh, yeah.
Hunting.
Yeah,
But,
exactly.
Wow.
They were telling me, this
small world.
this thing will sell out. We won't be able to get a seat. I'm like, there's 15 people who live in Swainsboro. The building looks like it'll hold 25. Like, we ought to be good. And we
drive
dude, you get in there,
miles,
dude.
man.
Wow.
No lie. They were telling me, this dude flies his helicopter in from somewhere in South Carolina to eat there. They have a spot for him to get there.
You partied with this guy?
Yeah, I did.
Wow.
Yeah, this guy.
It was a good party.
It was a good party going on too. And you eat there for breakfast, lunch, dinner. I don't know if I have breakfast, but we'd eat there at least twice a day every time we're down there.
You need, if you're going to hit somewhere for breakfast, Taylor's Barbecue down there.
Taylor's Barbecue.
Oh my God.
Well, I kind of got a sworn to secrecy thing with the Sweetwater boys. Their family owns a gas station. It's like almost like a golden pantry kind of deal, but they have like their little breakfast biscuits. So we got to eat breakfast there.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's a great part of the world. I love
It is good. That is a good part. It's like they're in one gear slower. Everybody's just.
That's
I like that. I always love going down there. It's like truly getting away for a week, like just turkey hunting.
Is it turkeys good down there?
Oh yeah. It's like it's right around there is back where the line starts hitting where there's birds and stuff again.
Yeah.
You know, around. I mean, have you ever done much turkey hunting around this area?
not a whole lot.
You get in the office. Top priority getting turkeys back in Athens.
Bring it on.
We'll do it. That's gonna be my first meal.
First one. I gotta get these
Import
turkeys.
them.
I gotta get these
Import 'em.
turkeys back.
Get you a
in
Roscoe
Athens.
that can coast.
That'd be exactly right.
It really does seem like, and you can attest, you've turkey hunted around here some, haven't you?
Yes,
So it's
sir.
like, it's just,
awful.
there's an invisible line, I always say, that goes a little north about back where y'all are. There's birds there again. But then down below that, and then about 45 minutes south, like you start getting into Greene County, there's kind of some birds again. But I don't know if it's just for the past 100 years, there's been college kids here chasing them. If it's the city growing, I don't really know what it is. And there's all kinds of different speculations that it's chicken litter, or I've heard anthill. That ain't
Coyotes too, man.
coyotes. I think what it is, honestly, everybody, like you think about how many deer hunters we got, as in they own a small piece of land, but they got a feeder on it that they keep full all year round with a camera on it. Well, deer ain't the only thing eating off the
That's
feeder.
right.
Every other animal in the woods eating off
Especially the raccoons.
The raccoons.
I think raccoons
The raccoons.
Raccoon population is going like this.
Nobody coon hunts anymore.
I know.
Yeah, nobody
because
coon
of the
hunts. The
feeders.
people who do coon hunt, they don't kill them anymore.
Right.
They just let them go so they can go back and coon hunt them again. And I'm like, what's even the point of that? But
Dad's trapped like 35.
I think that it's predators, raccoons, coyotes, all that kind of stuff have learned to hunt off the feeders just like we do.
Right.
And if all wildlife is eating off the feeder, I mean, they might not be sitting there in a deer stand like we are, but they're probably patrolling that area.
That's right.
Because they know the wildlife's in that area. And I just don't think it's good for everything to be eating off the same pile of corn. But I mean, you can't stop the turkeys from going over there because then you can't stop dude from wanting to feed his deer. You know what I mean? So
Somebody sent me a picture of like 21 coons at a at one deer feeder. You know what I'm
my
saying?
cameras every night. I wonder if you could break down the math. What I paid in corn and in camera pictures of just raccoons.
Well, yeah. And
Because there's never a picture of just one coon sitting there.
Start making some like get those coon skin caps going
Yeah,
on.
yeah,
You know what I'm
hats on
saying?
it.
That's what we have to do.
Right.
Start
DGD
tanning.
patch on
yeah, we
there.
put a coonskin. Yeah, we and like
I got a
bobcats.
coonskin hat.
Well, we didn't have bobcats when I was young. Now we have bobcats.
Now they're everywhere
Yeah.
in North Georgia.
Yeah.
I used to never see them except South Georgia. Now I see them up here all the time. It's
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah.
That one's not a Georgia bobcat. He's from Tennessee, but I've
We
killed
won't
one
hold him against it. Though.
close to that size.
Like I shot one in Wilkes County, the first bobcat I ever killed. Man, he walked out. I saw him like prancing. You know, he was proud.
They're awesome to see.
And then I had this little spike coming out, and it was like they hit this lane at the same time.
Yeah.
And they looked at each other, and like the little bobcat was
Right.
right when he did, and like he let down, and I pegged him.
Yeah,
right
got
before.
him.
He was
Shot
better.
him.
He was a better trophy than
You
me.
shot him where you going?
better than a spike.
Yeah, with a 7
Oh, damn, did not cut him in half?
pretty much.
From that, yeah.
Yeah, we had to mount him laying down.
Yeah.
Dismounted his ass to the wall.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, I killed one time, and it had two little. What do you call the little? Not kittens, but what are these called?
Probably, I mean, I guess that's what they would be. I don't know.
It had two. It was a mom, and I shot her, and then had two little ones. And I was like, "Do I kill those two?" Because they kept nudging their mom. It was
Oh,
dead.
God. Yeah, that's terrible.
Yeah, it
You
was so bad.
hop down,
I
put
felt
them,
really bad.
hop down, put them in the sack.
Really bad.
Yeah, you might look into the camera and say you felt bad.
I felt really bad. Yeah, I did. Anyway, I didn't shoot them, so I let them walk.
So did you know, like, how old were you when you, like, even got halfway interested in politics or even thought that might be down the barrel for you?
Man, I was like 21 years old, and I got invited by Georgia Farm Bureau, invited me to Washington, D.C. to go lobby. And they take this groups of young farmers up there.
Yeah.
Here. They give you like 3 or 4 topics, and they set up the meetings for you. And it's the first time I'd ever been on an airplane.
Yeah.
You know? And I just thought, man, this is cool. I'll be honest with you, I have no desire whatsoever to go to Washington, D.C.
Yeah,
That dysfunction. The thing
I think
about
you'd be more happy on Jaemor.
well, and that, the state legislature, they convene in January, February, and March. The reason they do that is because, 100 years ago, pretty much everybody down there was a farmer.
Yeah.
You didn't have anything to do in the wintertime. It fits
Okay.
my schedule. And I mean, look, that's not the only 3 months that you're doing the work.
Yeah.
You're doing work year round.
But originally, that's
Right.
why
That's
that was
right.
the plan behind it.
Yeah. So, the bulk of the work is done then. And then there's a lot of constituent stuff throughout the year. And, fundraisers like we had up at the farm. I'm telling you, man, my phone blew off the hook thanking me. So it was a political fundraiser, and people donated money to my campaign to come hunt. Me and State Rep Matt Dubnick hosted it. And Friday afternoon, thank you so much for having us out there. And I mean, these people were paying me to be there, but they were grateful for it. It was a good hunt.
Great
It
hunt.
was.
I mean, but if you just kind of remove yourself and think about it, like, I wouldn't say that's probably the most uncommon way to get with a politician with some sorts of being able to go out on their farm and hunt. You know what
That's
I mean?
right.
That probably ties in like so much more personalization and
Oh, it was good. We got to talk to a lot of
It's
people.
like, oh my God,
Met a lot of
there's
people.
somebody who's somewhat like me,
That's right.
that might be fighting for me. You know what I mean?
That's
I think most of America, much less Georgia and farmers in Georgia, probably don't feel that way when it
Right.
comes to politics and stuff like that. So it's good for them to see somebody
Exactly.
in your position doing
And
that.
we don't get to do a lot. We've been talking about middle and South Georgia. We don't get to do it. There's plenty to do outdoors in North Georgia, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But that was kind of a non-typical North Georgia dove field that day.
I'm hunting in beaches.
They were, most people have to get that kind of action. They got to go to South
At
Georgia.
least go to South Georgia.
Yeah, and hunt over sunflowers or peanuts or something like that. And we were on millet and peach trees.
Yeah.
And rotten pumpkins.
Really?
So, we were.
It's great, dude. I was smoking.
A lot of birds.
Yeah.
I killed so many birds. Yeah.
How many did you kill like
I
12?
killed 12, yeah.
I think they killed a little bit over 100 at like maybe 108 or something like that.
Dang.
How
How many people did you have show up? I really wanted to be there. Was I in Colorado or
Canada.
I think there ended up being 45 guns. So everybody got to shoot. Everybody got to shoot.
Well,
So
what was the story of the day on that? Ain't nothing crazy. Any kind of
the coolest thing was the banded birds. Like everybody,
Yeah, a bunch of people kept killing them.
four banded birds. That was cool.
dang. I don't think I've ever met somebody that's got a banded dove.
I've killed one.
Really?
I had 2 game wardens there. I thought, one of them goes to church with me, and had him there. I'd invited them over. He caught dove there all during July. He was trapping them and tagging them.
How do they do that? With nets or?
It's a little bitty cage, metal cage about this tall. It's like a rectangle. Man, it's almost like one of those kind of deals. It looks like something that you used to see on the cartoons, man. It literally has a stick holding it up.
Yeah.
And I don't know what trips it, exactly the tripping mechanism, but they put bird feed under there.
And they will have to walk into it?
Yeah, the birds walk into it. I never saw one of them trip. I did drive by and see a couple times where there were 2 or 3 doves in them or 2 or 3 Tweety birds in them.
Yeah.
My friend, the game warden, he won a little contest. He caught the most dove right there, literally right there, than anybody like north of I-20. He got a nice little gift.
Yeah.
Gave me a little DNR bag.
Heck yeah. That's what's up.
Chloe stole it. I had it for about an hour. I had it for about an hour. So,
Yeah.
So back to like you never really thinking you're going to get into politics, and then you're 21, went to Washington. That was kind of an eye opener for you. And then you kind of just put that in the back of your mind, was like, one day if I get to the point, I'd like to see at least somewhat pursue this and see where it goes. Or
yeah. And I mean, it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate the fact that they're, like we just talked about, a fundraiser, man. I mean, in politics, you got to be able to raise money to be able to do
you
it,
can't
right?
do it,
I mean,
yeah.
it's like your average Joe can't go out there. I mean, you can, but it's about impossible.
explain that some, because I think a lot of people don't, like, especially me, I somewhat understand that you got to have money to play, but explain like the importance of that, of the fundraising aspect. Like, why do you see politicians and stuff raising so much money for their campaign, and where does that go, or how does that work?
Well, it's really a mixed bag, just to be honest with you. It's, it is I like to refer to it as the necessary evil.
Yeah.
So you have lobbying groups that contribute to campaigns. A lot of people think lobbyist is a bad word, but you got lobbyist groups that are
Fighting for hunting
and, fighting for EMCs
Yeah.
and things like that.
Yeah.
I mean, you also have lobbyist groups with stuff that I don't agree with.
Yeah.
So
they're the ones that lobbyists is the ones that bring the issues to DC or to
Atlanta, and they, and they want you to, make a bill or, pass a bill to get something done. A lot of the money that you raise is from friends, family in your community and stuff like that. Mine was way more local, than from the lobbying side of things. But I mean, these campaigns, man, it's just like everything else. Y'all know how much it costs. Cost a crap ton of money. It cost almost $300,000 to run that primary. That's like 6 mailers, Facebook ads, signs.
advertising.
Yeah, basically you're advertising. Basically, that's what you're doing.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
that's basically what you're
the
doing. It's
majority
like,
of it
yeah,
is.
you're advertising yourself in a.
Okay, so yeah, I mean that makes sense. I didn't know if it
Basically,
was
what
like,
a campaign.
I didn't know if it was kind of like if it pays for guys to go around and campaign, but sounds like
No,
it's
you're not
mainly
getting paid by the hour. No, you're not using that money.
but it's for advertising.
That's right. Basically, yes.
Try to get your name
out
face
there.
in front of as many people as you can. That makes
Radio ads, and just basically we did nonstop Facebook ads and things like that. So, it turned out in our favor. And I would just encourage people to, to be a part of it, man. Be a part of the process. I mean, I don't care if all you got's like $25. I'm not saying send it to me. I'm saying send it to your local. Find something to support because
or tie yourself to or something.
Here's what I know. I know way too many of us, me included, historically in my life, have sat on the sideline and just, bitched about the issue, but never done anything about it. Well, go do something about it. That's your way in, can contribute to a candidate that you like, or run for office, or reach out to
or
them.
Push something issue or
candidates want to hear from their constituents. I mean, really, I'm not an expert in the construction world.
So you need to hear from somebody
that's right,
who does that so they can voice their opinion.
Exactly. So there's that. And then I feel like, I have seen a lot of electeds, once they get elected, they, lose sight of, their hometown or where. I'm not saying forget where they came from. I'm just saying kind of forget why they're there.
Yeah.
And, man, I don't want to be that guy.
The main thing.
That's right. Just do your job.
Yeah.
Just do your job.
What you said you was going to do.
That's right. Yeah. And accolades will come if you do your job, or attaboys or whatever it is. They'll come if you do your job. And, so I think that's important. I think we owe it to the constituents. I think people don't trust the government. I don't care if it's, if it's gun rights or if it's taxes or whatever.
That's kind of the biggest thing. Like, just speaking at least from like our age group of people, just like how much just non-trust there is there between I feel like as the generation, I just think my granddad, or the one that just passed, I feel like you could ask him anything about what was going on in the government and he would have some kind of opinion on it. Mm-hmm. I feel like as the generations go on, people are removing themselves further and further from politics and just kind of more of a our opinion doesn't matter. So just kind of push it on.
Do whatever you want to do.
Do what you're going to do because that's what you're going to do anyway.
Right. And
I feel like there's been more divide or more, again, non-trust or just non-compliance as generations go on. And I think that's a big thing is how are we going to get the new up and coming generation to even reestablish that trust? But then it's hard because with things like social media and just the internet, you're constantly just seeing how, the government has done, this a different way than what you like to see, or you're constantly seeing, you're always seeing reasons why you shouldn't, support the government.
Polarized today. Social media.
And I just think it's gonna have to be very deliberate and meticulous of how that trust gets regained again amongst the whole generation of people.
I think that's right. I have a friend, he's a senator, from Atlanta. He's a Democrat, and he and I became really good friends in Leadership Georgia. Leadership Georgia is a program leaders across the state go through. There's one class every year, and we went through together in 2016. Man, mine and his politics
totally different.
They're not alike. One of the coolest things, his son is, 7 or 8 years old. He calls me uncle.
Yeah.
he doesn't look like me, but he wants to go see his uncle's farm.
Yeah.
And
I feel like and as again, with social, I don't know what it is that creates that division, but I feel like with my generation, you're going to see less and less of that. Less of being able to say, you think one thing, I think another. Let's still shake hands and go fishing.
Right.
I think that's going to be, I feel like it, but that might just be because of what you see on social media and what you see on the internet. There's just more and more of a divide in that aspect of things. If you think this and I think this, we can't be friends. We can't even talk to each other, much less, try to find something in common.
Who's got the loudest microphone?
Yeah, who's got exactly?
Yeah, that's it. And
that's right.
Or who wants to pay Facebook the most for an ad?
The most money, yeah,
it's crazy. It's nuts. We got to get.
And obviously, that's not something that could. I don't even know if maybe that is something that's fixed on a local.
I think it is. I think it's on the
It
local
may
level.
be start there, but like, you know, the more you remove yourself from it, the more you see about this issue and that issue on like a global scale, even not even a national scale, like you start realizing like, damn, are we ever going to be able to overcome this problem? Is this something that we've dug ourselves into a hole so deep? Or like, but I feel like you might be right in saying that it is something that's going to have to start with literally you and your neighbor, like you and the dude that lives next door.
It starts with people in this apartment complex. It starts with people in Sanford Stadium.
That's
you know,
right.
I mean, we may not agree with everything,
like
by God, but we want them dogs to win.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's
like the powers that be almost,
Right.
or whatever it is.
They want us to be divided. They want us to be divided.
Making sure that that doesn't happen.
Right.
That it's like, damn, have they really got us to a point now that it can't, like, is it, you know? So I think that's like the one thing that I would like to see. Maybe I mean, I don't know if this election will fix it or not, but it's something like that has to be flipped on its head and start going in the right direction, I think. Because, I mean, that's something like I think about with not even like when I'm a granddad one day, like when my grandkids are, you know, like, what is that going to, are they going to be able to be friends with, you know, people that have a different idea with them? Or they're going to have to go to a whole different, like, then now we're almost moving back in time to
moving backwards, not forward.
Yeah, and it's like, what are we doing here? But
I think it's going to start local. I'm, you know, confident about, you know, Georgia historically, I mean, and it don't matter, you know, the state's led for a lot of years, man. We've led in,
whatever it might be,
whatever it is. It don't matter if it's football or if it's farming, you know, or and everything in between. We've done well and had good leadership from here. Republicans here recently and Democrats in the past, you know. So I think it's a local thing, and I think Georgia's got an opportunity to shine in that.
Yeah.
You know, and just we don't. You got to get people to kind of understand where you're coming from too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean,
I just feel like everyone's so focused, or with the media or whatever is so focused on destroying that common ground for people that's like,
exactly.
You know, like it's like we almost want to make it impossible for you and your neighbor to find a piece of common ground.
To breathe the same air.
Right. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Exactly,
it's crazy.
Well, what I noticed in the house was like, I mean, I was there when, Kim Cheadle, Secret Service Director, I was in the room and she testified or whatever. And every congressman that goes up there and gives they have their time and they speak, they're speaking to their constituents or their bubble of followers on social media, and that's it.
That's it, right.
And that's how they raise their money. And when Nancy Mace looks at her and goes, "You're full of shit today," all that is that fires up her base, and that's how she gets money.
Yeah.
And they don't talk to the Democrats on the committee. They might, but I didn't see much of that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of funny because Tim Burchett and AOC are good friends, which people don't know that. And
dude, it's when the cameras are on, baby.
Yeah.
It's when the cameras are on. That's when it's showtime. It's almost like,
I mean,
almost like Hollywood.
Now that you
know
say
what I'm
that,
saying?
but when you say that though, I almost like thinking about it from even from a football perspective, like you know, I mean, I don't want to say that like the guys that play for Georgia, they don't deep down actually hate the guys that play for Alabama, if that makes sense.
That's right. I mean? That's right. Exactly.
But media and College Game Day and where all the money's at, it comes from building that animosity between the two and capitalizing off the viewership of it. So
I saw a post today, people wanting, you know, what's your pick, what's your prediction for the scores on Texas and Georgia?
Yeah.
And all the comments, man, nobody could say Georgia 28, Texas.
No.
14.
Yeah.
Nobody could say that. Nobody could say that.
The first 100 comments and the top liked comment is whatever.
Right, like
bad character from
and you know what I'm saying? Like, just answer their damn question. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and I feel like it's literally, I don't know, maybe it's just like a media thing that it's like just constantly trying. I mean, they've always said, you know, there's money in division.
That's right. Clearly,
yeah.
Clearly.
Well, yeah. I'm kind of interested to see how this presidential election will be this year. The odds are pretty. Look up Polymarket. Look up I checked the other day, and Trump is up like 20 points right now on Polymarket, which I don't know. That's Vegas, so if you can trust that,
whatever website
on the left
has got the dogs.
Election winner. Yeah, that one. Trump's up 61%
to 39.
That's crazy.
Well,
That's the
where
highest
does that
it's ever been.
Where does that? I mean,
Because
where does that come from?
The
Though?
odds in the swing states, it has them calculated.
From how though?
Scroll down a little bit.
Will's teaching me something right
Yeah,
here.
here's how you can actually bet on this. So.
Me too. I don't.
Okay, go back up. There's somewhere where it'll say, look at the politics thing in the top right there. I check this thing every day because that'll tell you how the country is right now.
How much you got riding on this thing?
I don't have no money on it.
You didn't bet your house.
Yeah, I'm
on
about
it,
to say.
I'm Southern Baptist.
That's what I asked Will one day. I said, I asked him, I was like, you going to bet on this game? And so I don't bet either, but I just don't bet because I don't understand how it works. But I was like, you going to bet on this game this weekend? And he like immediately off top, no, I don't bet. I'm Southern Baptist.
There we go. There's our states right there. Click over Georgia. See, Georgia, Trump 65%, Harris 35%.
I just don't understand where those numbers come from because nobody asked me.
Polling data.
But I never.
Wherever they get that from. I don't believe in polls that much.
I don't believe in them at all because here's the thing, like only a certain kind of person is going to answer a poll to begin with. You know what I mean?
I don't know how they do it. Do you know how they poll? I have no idea.
Man, it's way more than this
Yeah.
podcast.
Yeah.
We'll be here for a while. I know enough about it to be dangerous.
Yeah.
I've had a couple polls done, and it's very expensive.
To what? Like facilitate one?
Yeah, you pay these companies to
Some
do-
third party?
third party, and then you tell them to call 400 voters in Hall County, and you put your topics out there, or 400 or 1,000 voters in Georgia, or 10,000. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Sample size is not what everybody thinks it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not as big of a sample pool as what everybody thinks it is, and they get those numbers like your cell phone number and is out there, and your address and cell phone number and email address is out there. In most cases tied to your voter registration, and you can buy voter rolls. You can buy it, and that's how you know
Who's affiliated?
who to send. Like, there's no sense in me sending mailers to Democrat voters,
Right.
because they're not voting for me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then, like, one of the things that when we would send out mailers, we would send out mailers. To start with, we would send them out to, I think, like 2 and 5 Republican primary voters. And then the next wave we would send out to 3 and 5, and then 4 and 5. You never really send them out to 5 out of 5 Republican voters because you're kind of
numbers
hitting
would be
them.
so
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're kind of hitting them if you stagger it like that. But all that stuff's out there. It's kind of scary how much of your information is really out there.
Oh yeah.
But, you can.
I mean, just in the real estate stuff, I can drive by
That's
a piece of property and tell you
that's right.
who owns it, who their kids are, and if they missed their taxes in the last, couple of years. Like,
Right.
and that's just based off of tax stuff. You know what I mean? Like, much less all the stuff that we have. Like, that's something else I've always wondered about. Like, dude, when I'm 70-year-old man, there's going to be a track of everything I've done from the first turkey I killed when I was 8 years old or whatever. You know what I mean? There's a picture.
Somebody's gonna be watching this podcast.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you end up
On their glasses.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Like when Kate had black hair, jet black hair,
yeah.
or it was a silver fox.
Yeah.
Before Drew was in a wheelchair.
Yeah, but it's crazy. Yeah, you can look at this. I also look at Twitter, which Twitter's not good for looking at anything political. It's so skewed based on how you.
Unless you want to see a
Whatever you
really
think,
cool
yeah.
rocket.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
Elon did.
All
So,
my X feed or Twitter feed is just like that like the rocket thing, and then college football odds, and then just people either dying
Shooting
or
each
getting
other, yeah.
beat
There's a lot
up. And
of
it's like, how did this make it onto my? But you
Free
can't stop
speech, man.
watching it. Yeah,
that's what y'all need to try to do, man. You need to try to get Elon Musk on this thing.
Well,
no
try.
kidding, for real.
We'll DM him.
I got a couple business ideas I'd like to run by him.
Let me know if this will work.
You'll sell a credit card machine.
Yeah, on some credit card machine.
Take you hunting.
Who does the processing for Tesla?
Yeah, they're out. Are they out in Austin? Is that or?
I'm
Where's
not
that?
sure. I'm not sure.
It's somewhere in Texas.
Yeah, I know.
You're not going to the game?
No, man, this is gonna be a big weekend right here on the farm. a lot of people. The third weekend of October, historically, that's our biggest weekend. That's when
speak on what all you
so
have
during
going
the
on.
during the fall, so we do, I've got 70 acres of pumpkins. We're finished harvesting now, thank God. But we've finished harvesting pumpkins. We do the corn maze, we do hay rides, we have flowers for people to pick. We got a really cool pumpkin patch.
Whole shebang.
The whole shooting match.
How many employees do you have?
Like 84. Then a few more on the weekends, just that want to work part time or something like that. Then up at the market, we have, all these apples and pumpkins and apple pies and apple cider, just all things fall. This weekend, everybody's going to come out dressed all cute, and they have their little.
How has that changed from farming? Like I would feel like with an operation like what you have going on, like you're having to constantly stay on top of what's going to be trendy, or cause like you can't just sell pumpkins anymore. It's got to be,
that's right.
You got to have a corn maze, you got to have, trailer rides, or you got to, do whatever. What do you think?
You can sell pumpkins. You can, and you can.
But if you want to
make a living,
if you make a living, but if you want to maximize the work you put in to grow that pumpkin, you better find 5 different ways to sell it.
That's right. It better be retail money.
Right.
You want to be a price setter, not a price taker.
So what does that sell? You want to sell to the customer.
That's right. Yeah. So we've changed a lot, and this month in October we'll have about 150,000 people come in the driveway. For something, either to go to the corn maze or go to the market or whatever. So, your nerves are shot. I tell everybody that I wouldn't even have gray hair if it wasn't for October, nerves are shot. You have to have a drink when you get home.
What's just the biggest thing for you like that? Just from a liability standpoint, or just making
and I mean, just all those moving parts. Man,
just I hope everything's, my margins here are good.
People propose out here. They propose in the flower field and the pumpkin patch and all that.
Tell them to wrap it up. Let's go.
Yeah, hurry up. We got 62 people.
Let's get it. Yeah. We got, come here and I'll do a pumpkin patch wedding for you. That may be what I need to offer. I need to go get ordained, man.
I'm ordained.
That's right. Well, let's go. Let's go, man. You can dress up like a pumpkin, man.
I'm ordained in Georgia, yeah.
All right.
No one's asked me to do their wedding yet.
You might have to do my wedding.
Anybody watching, you want to get married? Jaemor pumpkin patch.
You want to get a combo discount from an ordained minister and a wedding venue. You can go ahead and do it.
We'll put a lawyer buddy of ours on the other side. Say,
you can get divorced.
51% of these weddings end up in my office. Be a good idea. Actually, that's going to be one of our guests is a divorce lawyer, a divorce attorney.
This is pretty soon.
Yeah, I think in the next couple of weeks.
Do you know, I think one of the next thing we're going to have is, what's that fella's name from GON? He's what I tell you his name was? Brian. First name is Brian, but he's the deer guy. Like, I don't know, maybe.
Okay. I'll read you in, but I don't know right off the top of my head.
He might be on here next, but, do you have a relationship with the people at GON or?
Not really.
Really?
I'm just a subscriber.
Got too much stuff going on, yeah.
Yeah. Man, my deer hunting had almost gone away. And then Chloe gets addicted to deer hunting. And I mean, look,
it's a blessing in disguise.
I know. Here I am, the old dude out here, get sentimental. If your 20-year-old daughter wants to go deer hunting, you go deer hunting.
You drop what you,
that's right. You go deer hunting. So you do, cause you ain't, that's not always going to be the option.
Yeah, that's right.
So that's what we do together.
And most 20-year-old girls aren't even interested in that. So you just got to be thankful that
she got her a new, year before last, she got her a new, Browning, 6.5 Creedmoor X bolt, and all tricked out.
Machine,
and so she's pounded a few deer with that one. Killed a really nice 8-pointer at that farm in Homer.
Really?
With it. Yep, good 8-pointer.
Yeah, so I did some turkey hunting up there with
Brian.
Yeah,
Brian.
I even actually as soon as I graduated, I even was working at Shoreline.
Really?
For a couple. I was just like didn't really sure what I wanted to do, and I met Brian through hunting out there, and he's like, "You can come try this if you want." I tried it. It wasn't really my speed. I gotta be
out and about.
I gotta be out and about.
Right. Brian's like the ultimate.
Oh, he's the guy.
He lives down there on that farm. Dude takes care of all the deer feeders. He takes care of.
He's the man, dude.
Takes care of all the deer stands and all this, and he's like, "Hey, man, I just want the turkey right."
Yeah.
I'll take care of all your deer stand. I just want the turkey.
We tried to get on for turkeys. I had lads so close to killing a turkey out there. there was one bird out there that he had us figured out. One morning we chased this joker in circles, like literally in circles. And I don't know why he didn't just take off and go that way, but he just kept doing circles. And we were just chasing him all morning long. Finally, I just looked at Lad. I was like, we ain't gonna kill this turkey. He knows what's going on.
I don't, Brian, after that, Brian was like, he's like, man, I thought I could call turkey pretty good. He said, but K Brock is the man. He said, I'm over it. He's the man.
Brian's the guy, yeah.
We do, we got a little, did you see that pond over there? We got an irrigation pond that's got some huge bass in it.
Really?
So Chloe likes to bass fish and Coven likes to go there too. He videos and he's like the
video guy.
Yeah, he's a video. Yeah. He's the video. Yeah, that's what y'all need. Is Cohen Echols down here interning for.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
We're trying to get in a couple weeks. A couple of our buddies got those thermals, and we want to go hog hunting. We got a hog problem out where we live really bad.
Really?
So bad. We can't get rid of them. Cause you don't want to try and bait them in because then they'll never leave. And
Right.
so,
right.
It's crazy enough. I live right over, Will's house here. I live right over the mountain from Will. And on my side of the mountain, there ain't been a pig in 15 years.
I can't climb mountains.
Knock on wood. That's what.
Knock on wood.
The thing is that we only got real mountains. Like, I mean, it's a mountain.
John's Mountain is big.
It's big, but dude, a pig could get over that if it wanted to. There's so many saddles in there where it could just mosey its way up.
I'm sure they could, but
I guess I just don't got a reason to. I mean, there's not a lot of big ag fields in my.
They're on the other side of the Chattahoochee from us, over in White County and Lumpkin County.
Yeah, they weren't. They're 10 years ago, they weren't even. I mean, they were way further south.
Could you imagine? They would tear up so much stuff if they got on y'all's place.
Strawberries. And that's the thing, these are
got anything set up like preventative for that, or
all that down there where you guys were at's high fence for deer. I mean, right. I know that a hog can get up under it. They don't, they typically would not. I mean, they can, but they wouldn't. And just, knock on wood up there at the farm, at the home farm, just so much traffic up there. Us working, picking peaches, picking strawberries, our scent, everything else keeps.
What was that up there where I was hunting? That was a cool turkey hunt. Was it a peach orchard?
Yeah.
I was up there turkey hunting in a peach orchard. That was pretty cool.
I've got a video right here on my phone somewhere. Y'all are going to die at this one right here. This is really good. My campaign people told me that I couldn't put it on the campaign, that I couldn't send it out.
What they gonna do? Fire you?
Yeah, what they gonna do?
Yeah, what they gonna do? Send me home? I don't care. I'm gonna find this thing, man. So me and Cohen were driving out across the coming out of dirt road there at Jaemor, and my pumpkins were only like that small. They were maybe 2 or 3 weeks old. I look, and from a couple 100 yards away, I see something brown just going across through there. And it's this little groundhog, man.
Oh, just in there
freaking eating. Yeah, man. He's just having a heyday, man. He's treating his my pumpkin patch like it's his playground. So, man, I have my Glock and I did a drive-by on that thing. My little old, well, it's not old. It's just beat up. It's like a 2021 GMC pickup, but it's just beat all to pieces, man.
Farm truck.
I did a drive on. and then whenever I made the video, I made the video and I said I was saving Halloween. I sent it to my campaign manager, man, and they wouldn't let me put it out. They were like, no.
I'm going to use this.
They were like, yeah, exactly. They were like, no, exactly. Oh,
Yeah.
here, man, this is freaking, oh man, it was election day.
Was it really?
No, why do I have, oh yes, it was the runoff that we had.
40 caliber. Drew Echols out here saving
Halloween.
got the 40 caliber gun. Bang, bang.
So were you just driving out there and you just like take the wheel for a minute?
Rotten thing.
That's hilarious.
Voted.
I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know if it was Groundhog season or not,
Somebody's
but
got to say, yeah.
that's right, man. Somebody's got to save Halloween.
Yeah,
I've
somebody's
seen
got to say
before
that.
deer hunting and they stand on their legs.
Their
They
hind
stand on their
legs.
back legs, yeah.
That dude was trying to get out of that field so fast when he saw
bet
that.
he was like, oh,
he
God.
saw that pickup coming, and then he didn't know. Like he didn't know.
He's like, the pickup had rockets attached to it. What the hell's going on?
Yeah. That's always funny though.
What else
Either
you
y'all's
got on
likes
the
are going to go way up. Likes and views, or either we're going to get somebody.
Who cares?
PETA's going to
I
call.
won't be worried about it.
Do you have any like specific passion? And like I feel like a lot of politicians have something that they really like want to kind of make an impact on. Is there anything specifically you like kind of want to advocate for?
Yeah, what's kind of like some of
'Cause
your,
I'm sure you've got to have something that
some of your main points?
is unique to
Obviously, the farming aspect to it.
yeah, probably ag maybe or is it
Ag's a passion for sure, but I really do, and man, I say this all the time. I just want people to do their job. I want elected officials to do their job. I feel like that. You go to a
I feel like
drive.
that's pulling teeth. That might be the hardest thing.
Well, look, man, you go to McDonald's and you drive through and
Dude, people you've already paid don't want to work.
well,
people
I know,
you've
exactly.
already got like, yeah, it's
But you get like you get so mad at the young lady or young man at the drive-through window because he gave you Sprite instead of Coke.
yeah.
But maybe the manager's back there looking at TikTok or whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I mean, it's a whole top-down
Oh, yeah.
thing. Like we got
that's
to
another
work.
thing
We were
that's just-
designed by God to work.
Yeah, that's another.
You know,
thing
I mean,
it's just generational. I feel like too is like, yeah,
you got to work.
Yeah, and I think that we're losing that is more like the more generations come. I feel like with my generations, probably. I mean, imagine
That's
it
right.
compared to like our granddad's generation or something like that, like polar opposites.
Well, I kind of heard that our generation is more like your generation. Like it skips, I think, is sort of, somebody told me that one time. I went to an FCA thing. They were talking about it. And, it's like, we're not like millennials. You're the generation after that. right?
Gen X.
Yeah. So we're more
Yeah.
like Gen X. is what
I clearly you can't legislate work ethic, right?
Right, yeah.
But there's work ethic. There's, the family. I mean, a lot of our problems in this country stem from broken families
Yeah.
and all this and that.
I'd say the majority.
Right. We need men to be men.
Yeah.
That's why things like this, DGD outdoors. I mean, we need men to be men.
Yeah.
Be a man.
And not
step
shy,
up.
and not
That's right.
shy away from
You don't have to tote a shotgun and go, killing deer or turkeys or whatever it is to be a man.
No, but
just,
you have
just
to
be a man.
take on the responsibility.
That's
of
right.
providing for something or standing for something.
That's right. And then I do think, though, this is one that, I mean, listen, this is not going to be a game changer, world changer, but like Georgia's a great place. There's a lot of people moving to Georgia. Tourism is a big deal to me because of what I do for a living, but also like the hunting aspect of it. Man, we got like some of the best lakes.
Yeah.
Best government land. I mean, people don't really think about Georgia to go kill, huge deer or dove hunts in North Georgia, things like that. But there's a lot of opportunity out there for us in that world. And tourism don't necessarily have to be somebody from out of state coming in. It can be, somebody from out of county. We got a lot of great parks. We got a new one up in Hall County called Don Carter State Park, and it's awesome. Draws so many people in. We need more of that. We need people outside enjoying.
And that's kind of like the whole, not to beat a dead horse, the whole premises of DGD is just getting more people involved in the outdoors, especially those people who never thought or never would have had an opportunity to do it. Cause like, just going outside is a little different, but like hunting and fishing, like if you kind of think about it for a second, like a lot of my teammates and stuff that I take hunting and fishing, like if you don't have somebody that says, here, let's get in the truck, we're going fishing, like
if you ain't got that, you ain't going. You ain't going.
A kid from, inside the perimeter in Atlanta, like going hunting to them is almost like we take it for granted. Me and Will took I hunted my whole life on the 40 acres that I lived on. I walked out my back door, never even took take a vehicle to the deer stand. Like, but for somebody who's so far removed from that, like the realistic part of actually being able to just go hunting is so far fetched for most people. Like if you think about it, not even if you grew up in the inner city, if you grew up here, like if you grew up in Athens, you know what I mean? Like in just a regular neighborhood and you live on 2 acres, and how are you supposed to get into it if you don't have an uncle or a brother or a cousin or a dad or somebody to say, hey, like here, let's go shoot the gun. Let's go shoot our bows. Let's go do it. Like there is no, like the YMCA doesn't have a fishing, you know what I mean?
That's right.
there's no like easy access point to it. You have to take somebody that's either going to show you or has done it before, has a spot, you know, and that's kind of like what the whole DGD stuff's built on, is just.
Well, you asked a while ago about, we said, talk something about where's the common sense, man. The common sense is outside.
Yeah.
Figuring it out.
Yeah.
If you're in a deer stand or if you're hiking or, for God's sakes, man, if you're playing frisbee golf,
whatever,
figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Figure out that wind is blowing.
Right.
Just, it don't matter. I mean, that's just, there's a lot of things that you can learn outside. So,
how much is, the outdoors and hunting and fishing had an impact on you growing up? Like, is all you did really?
a lot,
How you
a
make a
whole
living?
lot. A lot. So my mom's dad, he used to take me hunting, man, from just tiny when I was only
before
big
you
enough.
should have been going.
Yeah, I mean, I probably shouldn't have even been going. I'd be sitting in a sleeping bag in the woods or whatever.
Yeah.
I've just always enjoyed it. I just,
And I think that's something like I know for a fact I've always taken for granted and never even realized, like that's why we started this, is I never even realized it was a need or like a thing to do, because you're just always taking it for granted. Like,
Right.
what are you going to do this weekend? I'm going to go fishing. Or
And people laugh at you.
yeah, and you're just like,
no, it's
what
not.
else are they going to do?
normal.
that's right.
Yeah, and it's
It's an everyday
But
thing.
it just like we used, when I worked for Georgia Power for that 2.5 years, man, we would get out of there, dude. We would get out of Georgia Power and we would just hightail it to Helen. Just to be able to trout fish for a couple hours.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just a couple hours.
And people
before
don't
dark,
even know
you know?
that's out.
That's right.
People don't
That's
even
right.
realize that that's out there. They think if you want to go deer hunting or something, you got to go out to Missouri or, or somewhere in the Midwest and, do all this. But they don't realize it's as simple. But I think, like, again, this is a big part of it, is not having somebody to introduce you to that. Then it's not something you can just easily do.
We do a good job in Georgia. I think we can do better, exposing people. So, I mean, I look forward to that. I think it can be good for the state.
And I think people like you and like what we have going on and GON and stuff like this, if we go about it the right way, like my favorite aspect is introducing these guys who never thought they would be hunting. But then like in return, what people don't see is like kids who never would have thought about it, but look up to these football players or baseball players or whatever,
Right.
and think they're the coolest guys in the world. And then the kids have never even thought about fishing or hunting. But when they see somebody they already think is cool,
Going
doing it,
fishing, right.
and they're trying it and being vulnerable and not good at it, and they're getting to see that on their phone and whatever. Maybe if they go fishing ain't
Let's
that
go
hard.
fishing,
Yeah, maybe
right.
let's go try it, see what it's about. So I think that's like really one of just if we go about it the right way, and I think like you're saying on a local level and
having governor or politicians that hunt, like that's
and
pretty cool.
it not being like where it's headed now is such down the wrong path of it's almost becoming frowned upon, and that's not where if it
That's
ever
right.
gets to that point.
Well, I had Congressman. Man, I'm all jacked up in here. I'm getting old, guys. I'm getting old. Getting stove up. Former Congressman Doug Collins was speaking to a group the other day, and 150,000
I remember him saying that.
Georgians, hunters in the state of Georgia, will not go vote.
The last section. Yeah.
150,000 dudes that get in deer stands or dove fields have a hunting license in the state of Georgia won't go vote. We got to fix that, man.
Yes.
We got to fix that. They got to get plugged in. They got to get involved because
And Georgia was 11,000 votes in 2020. That was
right.
Which now they're saying that we had record turnout on the first day of voting, didn't
Well,
we?
I think again the media and they're trying to divide us, so it has then backfired on them that. To the point where people are like, all right, hell, I'll go. I wasn't even going to vote, but y'all are making this such a big deal.
I'm going.
I got to go vote now.
That's right.
And so maybe it is counteracting on
It'll
them.
be interesting to see because it's not 2020 now. So I don't know how because 2020 was record voter turnout. We'll see how it is this year. I'm kind of curious because to break a record, they like doubled the record or whatever it was in 2020.
You freaking double the amount of people.
But also, people weren't voting in person in 2020, so that's also another thing. He and I, we got our absentee ballots on our counter ready to go. I'm making sure my house votes now.
And I think I don't know if it's just because we're getting older, it's becoming more important maybe to us, and we're just thinking about it more, or if it's actually becoming more of a bigger issue and people are starting to see it more. But
I don't know. I
think it's probably a combination of both. Because like hell, when you're
when you're trying to find a job like we are,
Yeah, well, right now,
That's right. It has a lot to do with it, man.
and for somebody like our age group, like
Matters.
it's very important. Like, because you think about like me and you, Will, like I'm in a point in my life, like within the next 2-3 years, I need to be buying my first house. I need to, like if stuff don't go our way, like it could be very tough. Like,
You need to have an opportunity.
yeah, because
you need to have
dude, at what it's going at now, like it's going to be 10 years before I get by. You know what I mean? Like it's almost impossible because of how it's set up from top to bottom, that they don't want people to have wealth through ownership. They want people renting and being a slave to a payment. So
That's right.
It's scary.
Or a hedge fund.
Right. Or, yeah. Or a hedge fund.
Right.
And so it's like, I think it's becoming more and more vital to me. Our
What's
age.
scary though is there's people with that mindset and they think, I'm going to vote this way because this candidate said that they're going to give me $25,000 tax credit.
But that ain't how. Yeah, but then when you go try to buy
it's
that
like, that's
house,
not even
But your income tax
Yeah,
is going
it's
up.
that's not fixing the problem.
That's right. That's right.
And we also, like, I try to tell like people, think about, I don't know, one of the Trump plans is like to cap credit card interest rates. That's a problem right now.
Yeah.
Is whenever we get a credit card, it's like 15% interest for us.
Yeah.
But for you, which you've got good credit, it's like, but we're trying to build credit. But how do you build it on 15%?
How do you build it? That's right.
So it's already doomed, and you can even make your payments on time, and your rate will still go up.
Yeah.
It's just messed up. We got anything going on in the world?
Yeah,
This is how we wrap up our show. Look up real world events. You got a prediction for the game Saturday? Real prediction.
We can college football. Look at the college football schedule for this weekend.
Yeah, let's see what's going on.
Who we got?
Here we go.
Auburn, Missouri, Oregon, Purdue. I can call it an upset right now. I got a couple.
On who?
I got a couple boys at Purdue.
Oh, come on.
That's the biggest ag school in the world.
The biggest what?
It's like the biggest ag school in the country.
Really?
Yeah.
So I got a couple close friends. Nyland Green played corner here. This is probably one of the most aha moments I've had is Nyland, never been fishing, whatever. He gets to Georgia. I take him out there to this pond, a little local pond, and I've never seen somebody do this again yet. He stood on a down pine tree that had fell over in the lake and stood at the base of the tree. We're in a boat fishing, whatever. He stands at the base of the tree and on back to back cast, 3 casts in a row, he catches a 4.5 pound bass. All 3 casts.
The same one?
No, not the third time I was like, dude, you might be catching the same fish because there's no way there's 3 of them things piled up in there. And I told him, I was like, nah, dude, I don't know. Like, honestly, I shouldn't be telling you this, but I would never go fishing again if I was you. He's like, what do you mean? Like, that will never, ever happen to you again. But, he got all into it. He,
Nolan Smith,
Nolan Smith.
Nolan fished at my pond.
Yeah, Nolan Smith. And so, but Nolan got super off into it, like to the point where me and him were going all the time. He got his own fishing rods, his own stuff. And he even actually ordered like a tackle box off Temu one time.
Wow.
And he, when he got it, I wish I could have been there because when he got it, like on the pictures, it looks like a real one, but it's like one of those Chinese apps or whatever. So when he got in his mailbox, it was this big. It was like the size of his palm.
Small.
And then they got it. He's like, man, I can't believe they got my ass like this. But anyways, I took him and he was a huge, like he loved it. He loved it. And then he transferred to Purdue. And probably 6 months ago, he sends me these pictures. He's probably sends me 25 pictures of all of his teammates at Purdue who have never been fishing before, and they're all fishing at a pond in his apartment complex, and they're all
cool.
They're all holding 3-4 pound bass.
That's awesome.
And Nyland's taking pictures of them, and like it's like, all right, that's
made it worth it.
Yeah, that's why that was the whole thing. But there's 2 or 3 guys that have came from Georgia on Purdue, so I might have Purdue because they're pull that off. Yeah, there's Alabama, Tennessee.
You say Purdue upset Oregon?
Yeah, that's what I'm
You're
feeling.
crazy.
You don't think so?
I don't think so, man.
Not
Oregon's pretty good.
Oregon's good.
I think Oregon, I actually think they're better than Texas, man.
They might be.
I mean, they're Coach Lannon.
That's right.
What's crazy to me is Army and Navy are both ranked.
Right.
It's just a lot different though. Like you got to think like how many Oregon hadn't been sitting at 2 in a minute. Like there's a lot that comes with that. That Purdue has everything to gain, nothing to lose, and they're good. I mean, they're a solid team. But what about this Alabama Tennessee game?
Man,
Those numbers beside them should really probably say like 3 and 4. But
That's
just
gonna be
how
it's
it
going to be
is.
a struggle. I suspect Alabama beats them, man.
I think so. I think Tennessee
but
wins.
they're playing in Tennessee.
I
right?
think Tennessee
So,
wins. That's gonna be a good game.
What time is that game at?
3:30. I don't know how that's not a night game.
Because we're the night game as well.
Why is LSU Arkansas a night game and not Alabama Tennessee? I got LSU in that one. I got us over Texas, of course.
I think maybe 34-30 us over Texas.
Think so. I got us.
You think it'll be a close game? Not very high scoring.
34-30.
34-30. I think it's going to be probably somewhere around that ballpark. Probably, 34-30 is not a bad guess. I'm going to say 28-21 us.
It's going to be hard to win that game.
Yeah, it's a tough environment.
It's going to be tough.
We got the guys to do it, though.
We got the team, and we've been tested.
Yeah, that's what you can't, bro. You can't count us out. I don't care who we're playing. You can't count us out.
Also, Texas hadn't been in a position where they've had to fight to be like. I mean, they've always
number one in a minute either. There's a lot of pressure that rides on number one. They ain't used to.
Yeah, we played better at two.
There's a lot
on the rank two.
There's a lot of pressure that, and I've seen something actually Dan was talking about the other day, how we're not underdogs or whatever, but if you look at our track record as an underdog, it's pretty stout.
I like us as an underdog.
Yeah, me too. I do too.
Yeah.
And what else
we don't even want to talk about Georgia Tech, Notre Dame, but hey,
I would love for Georgia Tech to beat them.
What about that latest news this week? Next year, the game's getting played in Mercedes.
Yeah,
Mercedes.
That'd be cool.
Yes.
How do we get together that?
I mean, that don't really matter for us because it was going to be at Georgia Tech anyway, so we didn't really lose a home game. But I would rather go to that game than the Georgia Tech Stadium.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they just
Miami, Louisville, dude. Miami's looking. Did they end up getting beat? Who'd they lose to?
they haven't lost.
They haven't lost yet. Still,
I think so.
why are they at 6? Weren't they? I thought they were
Because
high.
They almost lost Virginia Tech. They
That's
should have
right.
lost. And then
That's right. They did lose. They did lose that game because they should have lost in
they
that
should have lost.
game-ending call. Did you watch that game? When the dude he had fell out of the back of the end zone, that was a touchdown. They should have. They should have lost that
They
game.
almost lost to Cal.
Yep.
Their quarterback's a little bit overrated.
He is good though. He's a ball player.
He's good. I think he's second.
Who do you think the best quarterback in the country is right now?
LSU got a good quarterback.
Manning.
Really?
He's pretty good, but he didn't play much.
Yeah, he hasn't played anybody
Ewers is
yet.
back.
Is he going?
Ewers is back. Ewers is back, so he's going to be the starter. But
They were off last week? Texas?
no,
Who they play?
They played.
Ewers. He
played
came
Oklahoma.
back last week.
I did.
It was his first game.
Yeah,
back.
they played Oklahoma.
And he did not play great. He didn't play great.
I mean, man,
I wish
wait and see what happens after the first quarter if he don't have a good first quarter.
I
Wait
bet
and see
they
what
play
happens.
Archon, yeah.
Wait until, I mean, the dude's good. The dude, you got to get
Best
him credit. He's
quarterback,
good.
dude. I don't know.
He's good. He's good.
Best quarterback in the country,
Nico's pretty good at Tennessee.
dude. Damn, Milroe at Alabama.
He's a beast.
He's so
He's
dude.
a freaking beast.
He's
I don't know about like just sitting back there pocket passer quarterback in the country, but dude, that's probably the last quarterback I want to play at least. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
he's just so dangerous. He can throw too, but he's so dangerous. Like, especially with the talent they've got on the outsides, like that's a hard team
He's got
to
a
beat.
good O-line, too, that can block for him.
Who else has got a good quarterback this year? Miami guy's good. I don't think the quarterback at Oregon's all what he's.
You seen that Boise State running back?
Yeah.
He's good.
I heard they popped him on a drug test though.
They did?
That's what I heard.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
They're
Have you
well
seen
in
him in the backfield? He stands straight up in the backfield.
Like he got that old Sony Michel stance. Like
you
remember
don't
they
even
used to
squat
they would
over.
just stand there on
Yeah.
What else is going on this week? Any other games going on? That's about
That's
it, really, isn't
That's
it?
probably it.
Well, we can wrap this thing up.
Yeah.
Don't keep you too long. How long has it been? Probably an hour. What are we at? Like an hour or something?
Hour 15.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this is our longest one
We're
yet.
good, yeah.
Yeah.
Time flies and having fun.
Yeah. I guess we don't have anything else to talk about.
You got any closing
come
remarks?
visit
I just,
Jaemor
I just
Farms
appreciate
Everybody
y'all being
come
here and come see me. You know,
Everybody come
Jaemor
to
Farms
Jaemor.
this fall. We'll try to get together and do some hunting up there.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
We
Yeah.
got that, if it's doe day, man, if it's brown us
burn.
down, man, we
Well,
got, I mean, I hate to say that, but we got to,
I think it's a
It's
huge
crops.
thing in the that's what you do is you run on putting pressure on killing does again because people aren't killing does anymore. Like everybody's just going out there and sitting all year trying to kill a
shooting a
trophy
football.
buck. Yeah,
y'all need to get some hats.
kill America, kill does again.
Yeah, make America 100
Maybe
again.
again.
Get more news. All right, well,
We appreciate you.
good.
showing up.
Good,
I
man.
appreciate it. Yeah.
fun.
That'll do it.
We can just wrap it up now.
Wrap it up. Yep, another good episode.
Yeah.
Nice.
Good deal.